Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It is your boy Jack at the Irish Hotspur, here to bring you a little bit of stats with Jack on this Friday night. Let's get her done. Alrighty, everyone. Welcome to Stats with Jack. This time and tonight, it's going to be a little bit of a solo show. Might be a bit of a shorter show that way because then you don't have to listen to David and I blabber on too much. David will not be joining me. It's been kind of a bit of a hectic week for him with the family and whatnot. I do also believe, it's his father's anniversary or his parents' anniversary, so I think he's celebrating that tonight. So everybody, wish the Harris parents a bit of an anniversary well wish. You must do so. But Chris, I'm going to welcome everybody into the building. Hopefully everybody's doing okay this Halloween night. I want to know what costumes everybody is wearing because I'm not going to really be celebrating it tonight. Halloween, I'm probably going to be celebrating maybe post win tomorrow night. If it's a bit of an earlier game in the afternoon, I can't really handle myself sometimes when I have too many of the drinks and whatnot. So I'm going to probably just save all of that for tomorrow night. But I want to know if anybody is going out on Halloween or something tonight. Do let me know what the costume is, or even as well for tomorrow, what the costume of choice is if you are celebrating. Over here in New York, I kind of am not the biggest fan of Halloween over here. I kind of prefer it in other parts because in New York, can't really go from house to house. It's like going from apartment to apartment. So it's not really, my favorite, I would say. But let me know, everybody. Chris is in the building saying, "Evening all. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Harris Army. Come on, you Flat Cap Army. 3 points needed. Let's send Holy Crash." And he's going to be crashing. I'll tell you that. Kuva99 is also in the building. Big yourself up, Kuva. Big yourself up. Adam D's in the building. Big yourself up, Adam. He's saying Spurs 2-1 tomorrow. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that. Chris is saying, Kuva, I will miss the first half hour because I am working tomorrow. If I see we lose and I won't bother tuning into the game. Yeah, don't also get yourself, don't get the sack, Chris, because tomorrow is El Sackico because we don't want to see you happening to you as well. So, Chris, maybe tune in, without maybe making it too obvious, my man. Dermot's in the building saying, as Halloween comes near, the Ghostbusters are out to take down the Red Devils. Pick up, guys. I'm fully confident of 3 points tomorrow. Come on, you Spurs. And also, let's get this win tomorrow. Love that, Dermot. Absolutely love the energy. Adam McFarlane is saying Ronaldo hat trick 4-1 United. I am afraid. I'm very afraid as well. I would say this is the time you're not going to get as much delusional optimism from me. It's just not going to be happening, unfortunately. So, hopefully, we might just be a bit more realistic on this stats with Jack. We're going to be a bit realistic, but maybe you guys can give me that energy, maybe give me that positivity. Yeah, I kind of agree, Adam. I kind of agree. It's going to move down here. Adam is in the building. Big yourself up, Adam. He says, big up Dave and Jack and the Mighty Harris Army. Again, everybody, David is going to be out eating with the family. He's going to doing a bit of an anniversary dinner for his parents. So wish the parents a bit of well wishes. Absolutely deserves it. I think he deserves a bit of a night off before, the tomorrow night as well. Old Soul 53 is in the building saying, old big up lads and ladies. I may lose confidence in this team, but I'll never lose hope. Come on, as Kuva99 likes to say, Old Soul, the quad is on. No matter what happens, the quad is on. But big everyone else up in the building. Before I get to these already very generous super chats, I just want to make sure, I'm not missing anybody. Mr. Bomb Diggity says, maybe I got that wrong, but big yourself up. He says, let's send Mourinho back to United. Let's do so, my man. Let's do so. Par Miguel is here. Good to see you, Paro. JC, I'm going to dress up as a sacked man, you manager, after tomorrow's result. Yeah, that'll be a good one. I'll tell you that. That'll be a good one. Maybe a bit of a shoe shiner. Show up as a shoe shiner. I think you can dress up as anything like that. Just don't forget your cloth. Don't forget maybe the shiny shoes as well. CD saying stat of the day, Harry Kane has as many goal contributions from open play as Lucas Stevie Gio. And that is a good stat, especially in the Premier League. Harry Kane has failed. He wouldn't get David, to concede to that one, CD, but I probably will concede to you on that one. I kind of am on maybe your side of the fence when it comes to that. Brian Socrates is in the building. Which is always a good sign. William McKenzie's in the building, which is always a good sign. Big yourself up, my man. Just making sure I'm not missing anybody until I get back up to those super chats. Derek Hutchinson, hopefully you're doing well, my man. Again, Halloween night. Let me know what the costumes are, everybody. Let me know what the costumes are. Maybe you're celebrating it tomorrow night. But regardless, it is the Hallow weekend. Maybe we'll be dressing up as a shoe shiner, Holy Gunner shoe shiner time. But big up James Watson as well. It is a big weekend, my man. It is a big weekend. Tom Tantrum here with a very generous super chat saying, tomorrow we will beat the Red Devils and send Ollie back to his shoe shining shop. We must be aggressive and hunt them all down like a pack of wolves. Where are the mighty Tottenham Hotspur? Where are the mighty Tottenham Hotspur back, baby? Woo! Big yourself up, Dermot. Big yourself up, Dermot. That's very lovely to see. That's very lovely to see. And also appreciate that. I love the hype as well, Dermot. And again, thank you the very generous contribution. If you want to follow in Dermot's footsteps, it would be very kind of you. I'm going to be a one-man show tonight, everybody. So it is going to be a bit shorter than usual, a bit, kind of succinct and whatnot after I get through the comments and whatnot. And I can't really do both at the same time. So I will be missing some comments. I just have to give a disclaimer, but I will try to get everybody's comments on screen as best I can. But I'm also going to be running Stats with Jack. So if you want to skip the queue, have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to throw it in a super chat or put it in the chat, and I will try to get to it at the best of my ability. Mac here is also in the building, so big yourself up, Mac. Hopefully you're doing well. Dark Sun G is also joining us tonight. Big up, Dark Sun G. He says, come on, you Spurs. No Pogba should make it an easy win. A sun brace. The sun brace is a must. It's a must. He's Mr. Reliable, Dark Sun G. Absolutely Mr. Reliable. With Pogba being out, that is kind of a big sign. I mean, the man had 7 assists or something, already this season, which is kind of insane, despite that horrible display that he had against the Pool. I think it's a good mess. Maybe they might be a bit more defensively solid without Pogba. At the same time, though, that guy caused us absolute havoc. He seems to be a bit of a Spurs killer, so I am kind of a bit relieved to see him not in this one. Also, Shamu is saying, "How are we, Harris Army, here to keep the trolls out?" So if the chat stays good, that'd be a big help tonight, Shamu. That really would be a big help, my man. But let the Man United fans in though, Shamu. They're welcome to join us. Unless they get a little bit too toxic, but they're welcome to join us. But big yourself up, Shamu. Big yourself up. And Dark Sunchi and Dermot, really appreciate you both. It's really good to see you. It's really good to see you in the chat today. Tottenham Tantrum here with another one before I get to more comments. And happy anniversary to Mr. and Mrs. Harris. Have a wonderful night. Yeah, it is. It's a fantastic time, for the Harrises to be celebrating an anniversary. Pretty soon David's probably going to also be celebrating maybe a bit of an anniversary with his missus as well. Not even his parents, relationship. So lots of anniversaries coming about. Lots of anniversaries around. Just making sure. Willie McKenzie saying, hopefully our midfield work harder than ever, and tomorrow we dominate them in the duels. Absolutely. Absolutely. Just making sure maybe I'm getting some costume suggestions. Kois, hey, how you doing, my man? How you doing, my man? I believe this is the one from Norway. Big yourself up, Kois. Hopefully you're doing well, my man. Hopefully you're doing well. Really do appreciate you. Really do appreciate the support they've shown us as well. It absolutely goes a long way. Para Miguel Escobardo saying El Sackico is on. It is absolutely on, my man. And also good evening to you, fam. Absolutely. Tomorrow we will make Ronaldo regret to play for United. Yeah, I think Romero's just going to be absolutely making him, his new favorite toy to play with. It's going to be his new favorite toy to play with tomorrow. Cristiano Ronaldo is going to be the new toy for Romero. MS saying, hi, Jack. Nuno was a bit more forthcoming today in the presser. Maybe things may get better, or it's just a pipe dream for a good Saturday evening finally. Yeah, I think he was conceding a bit more, especially in the Dele Alli, Harry Winks thing. Like he kind of gave a bit of Mourinho answer there. He was saying like, yeah, they're football players, which, he's correct. They are football players. Sometimes in my opinion, maybe impersonating football players, but regardless, it was a bit of an interesting one to look at. It was a bit of an interesting one to look at. And I think he is kind of maybe opening up to the press a bit more, I would say. Kane the long shots in the building saying, just saying hi to Chris, and hopefully he's making, everybody feel comfortable. Big up, Kane the long shot. Always really good to see you, my man. Willie McKenzie, really do appreciate that. I'm not seeing any costumes. So if I'm missing your costume, I'm hearing a lot of shoe shiner, Ole Gunnar shoe shiner costumes, or a sacked manager is what people are going as this weekend. Not sure how you're going to pull that off, but I know you guys will. I really do know you guys will. But really appreciate Dermot and Dark Sun G so far for the super chats. I am going to start cracking into this. So if anybody else has anything to say before I maybe just take a bit of a break from the comments and maybe just break down some things before I return back to the comments, do maybe throw it in a super chat just to skip the queue. Because again, it's a bit of a solo show tonight, a bit of a solo road tonight. So hopefully you guys can maybe understand where I'm coming from. Going as a cockerel. Hopefully, also very good to see you. Very good to see you as well, my man. And Carl Simpson here saying, "Evening, Jack. Hope you're well." I'm doing very well, Carl. Doing very, very well. It's it's Friday evening, Stats with Jack time. A bit of a chill show, I would say. It takes a lot of work going into this kind of show, but I do enjoy it once it finally arrives. I get like a kid in the candy shop, just get to unleash all the stats I'm looking at, all the things that I am thinking about. And Ian Harper saying, which would you go man to man maybe against Ronaldo? I think is what Ian is saying. I think you would probably try to put Romero on him as often as possible because I think with Ronaldo, if there is someone constantly on his back, if there is someone constantly maybe, trying to make life difficult for him, that is the best way to go about it. You don't want to sag off Ronaldo. You just don't because he will make space out of nothing and he will punish you for it. That would be my answer for you there. JC says if we score more than United tomorrow, I think we could just maybe win. Love the sarcasm, JC. But I will say, JC, the first goal is the most important goal, especially for this one. I heard that from, my Messiah, another fellow stat man out there. You probably know him of the Man United side. He did say whoever scores the first goal is probably taking this one. So there you are. As much as, that's how the game works, I would say, take that into consideration. Take that into consideration. Just don't dress up like Antoine Friedman, Harlem Globetrotter, LOL, or Griezmann. There you go. There you go. Oh, thank you, very Kane the long shot. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Always appreciate, I try to, I guess some people really enjoyed when I didn't have the flat cap on earlier on We Were Talking TV. A couple of people seemed to enjoy that, which was kind of funny. But for these shows on the Irish shots where I do have to go flat cap only, I do got to go flat cap only. Paul Markey in here with a super chat saying, to get anywhere, our midfield will need to be fluid in their movement from sitting to protecting the back four and then getting forward in order to support the attack. I really do agree with that. But maybe what I agree with most is the fact that the midfield is just absolutely crucial tonight, Paul. I think it's so crucial. Like Højbjerg and Skippy are going to have to be able to silence that Bruno Fernandes, because the guy is just unbelievable. Like, you have to admit, like, he is an unbelievable player to watch. He creates so much out of nothing. He will be the guy feeding in Ronaldo. So Skippy and Højbjerg, as always, are going to have to get stuck in for a living this weekend. And they're going to be also that connection to the attack as well, Paul. They really have to be able to find, players like Tanguy or Gio, whoever's going to be playing, tomorrow is going to be Tanguy or Gio in that number 10 role. And they need to also connect it with them, be able to find Lucas and Sonny in the right positions as well. I mean, the midfield is just more than crucial. And I really don't want us to be sitting back. But then again, these are two teams, Paul, that do like to sit back and do like to maybe, kind of hit people on the counter, which then will make it a very interesting battle. If you ask me, it'll make it a very, very interesting battle. So hopefully, we might be the one, probably dictating the play and being a bit more possession-like. But at the same time, Man United are very, very difficult to play against when they are doing that kind of counterattack. But Paul Markey, really do appreciate the support, really do appreciate it. And also fantastic analysis as well, Paul. Fantastic analysis, my man. Just making sure I'm not missing any more here. Was weird seeing Jack naked without the flat cap. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it is. I'll try to maybe crack it out a bit more. Maybe take off the cap. In certain moments, like kind of a what do you call it? Is it a trophy moment? I'm trying to think. In movies. But yeah, it is something that isn't often seen. Kane the long shot. So yeah, that is what my hair looks like. It is a lot more hair hiding in here than you might think. But definitely really appreciate the support. Really do. Old Soul Hassan, hit that like button. That would be very much appreciated. And I'm pretty sure we're going to have mostly regulars in the chat tonight. But anybody that is maybe new to Stats with Jack, feel free to hit that subscribe button as well as that like button. And don't miss that notification bell to never miss another Stats with Jack as well. Because this will be honestly mostly every Friday to Saturday night. Just sit back, maybe crack open a few cans of whatever you like, either, a bit of soda or just maybe a bit of beers and and maybe even a glass of wine, whatever you're into, just to enjoy maybe the bit of the stats session, to enjoy a bit of the classroom kind of stuff. But let's crack into it. That is, a lot of chatting with you guys. And it's going to be a chill night as well. It's going to be a very, very chill night with everybody. Looking like Chiro. Really do appreciate it, Mac. But this is going to be the Stats with Jack evening. And we are going to move on to first, as always, the cold hard facts. Tottenham have lost more matches to Man United than any other club in the Premier League. These are not cold hard. These are cold hard facts for a reason, everybody. I mean, they're not nice to look at. These are not nice to look at. Sometimes they favor us. I would say in this time they really don't favor us at all. But maybe against Newcastle and Villa and stuff, maybe they did. But this time they won't. Just one of the last 6 Premier League matches between these two sides have been won by the home side. Now, there is a stat you won't get anywhere else. I'll tell you that, people. That is a stat you won't get anywhere else. It seems like it's very difficult for the home side to defeat either of these two. When each of us come up against each other, it seems like the away team seems to have the favor, and I can't explain that. I have no explanation for that at all, everybody. And then the third one is Manchester United have lost 3 of their last 4 Premier League matches, which they haven't done since 2015 under Louis van Gaal or Louis van Gaal. And there it is, everybody. This could be a big one. Maybe we might make it, a complete record with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and he might be the man of El Sackico. Personally, if you ask me, as much as I think Nuno, by winning against Burnley, that maybe took a bit of the pressure off. I do anticipate him, keeping his job no matter the result. Again, I want him to succeed, but I think it's more on Ole for this one. I think, though, the title of it, El Sackico, isn't more. It could not be more fitting. It is very fitting still at the end of the day. But moving on to head here, Spurs' all-time record against Man United is not very great. We've won 53, lost 93, drawn 49. Spurs versus Man United in the last 6 fixtures. We've lost one 3-1 or 1-3. We've then won that last one in that big thrashing under Jose, 6-1 away from home, I believe. Drawn 1-1, lost 1-2, lost 1-0, and then won 3-0. So not too great, against them. That's why I'm not really, too confident against Man United ever. They're kind of my kind of bogey team to a degree. I'm always just very fearful of them. Always very fearful of them. Nuno record versus Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to be interesting here with 8 matches played. He's had 2 wins, 3 draws, and 3 defeats. I think that's a fair, respectable record because we all know the majority of that has come under Wolves, if I'm not mistaken. So, it's not a bad record at all. It kind of speaks again to, like Nuno's ability to actually perform in kind of the bigger matches. At least under Wolves, he did. He did perform in the bigger matches, as well as Valencia. He performed very well when he was coming up against the bigger teams. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer record against Tottenham is 6 matches played, 3 wins, 1 draw, and 2 defeats. That is also, not too fantastic, I would say, because probably, managers before that probably did a bit better than him. So maybe he does struggle slightly against Spurs, which I find to be a bit interesting. Nuno's record against Man United is, more or less the same as Solskjaer's. It's not too great. I wouldn't say not too poor either. It's 2 wins, 4 draws, and 3 defeats. So there you are, everybody. That is the head-to-head. I do think Nuno, has actually done quite well in the past against Man United with that. I do consider that he was playing with a much weaker team. Jack the Cockerel is facing the wrong way on that slide. That is maybe, David and I's responsibility. Sometimes David helps me out with some of these images, but we do like to kind of, flip them back and forth, just to make it a bit more kind of a synchronicity or, symmetry and whatnot. But Shamu, you're definitely right. You're definitely right. Just making sure I'm not missing any other good comments here. I have a feeling I will miss Lamella more than ever before. His shithousing will be surely missed. It really will, Kane Longshot. I miss it as well, but I think we'll be kind of replacing that shithousery, in the form of Romero as well as the form of Emerson. Emerson with maybe the very clever, tactful diving, which I'm actually a fan of when it is someone on my team, excuse me. And in Romero's case, we saw what he did to Fornals, which is just honestly beautiful to watch. Wayne Bonner joining us. Big yourself up, Wayne. Hopefully you're keeping well, my man. Hopefully you're keeping well. Good to see you and everybody else that's joining me for tonight. So big yourselves up. Let's move on, though, everybody. Manchester United's formation here. Again, we swallow our breath here, kind of, hold our breath here. Maybe just, find ourselves, having to think about Man United before we can move on to how Spurs can maybe potentially win this match. But this is going to be Manchester United's formation for me. Maybe they might go with something else. We heard that Varane is now returning back from a groin injury. He will be probably selected if he is fit, sincerely, because I do think Maguire struggles a lot more without Varane. I think he actually struggles heavily when he does have Lindelof on his side with him. So I think that's a good way of looking at it here. And it is going to be Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka probably. Luke Shaw, has actually really struggled this season, especially maybe the last, match against Liverpool really was exposed plenty. So Alex Telles is being rumored as maybe starting for this one. At the same time, though, it is away from home for them. So I do kind of anticipate Luke Shaw probably playing this match. And then I'm not going for the McFred. I'm going for Matic and McTominay here. I don't really have much of an explanation other than all the pressure that has been put on McFred. So I do feel like that's maybe the reason why I'm leaving out Fred for this one. Bruno, of course, is getting to that lineup. Mason Greenwood, I'm going to keep in just because we are going to discuss how good he has been this season. Rashford, I also see probably starting this one as well, just because he is returning from injury and has done decently since he's come back into the side. And then Ronaldo, of course, up top. The unsung hero, we're going to go through an unsung hero as well as a key player for Man United. Our unsung hero here is going to be Mason Greenwood. He has the most shots on target in the entire Manchester United squad with 12 shots on target, tied for the most goals scored in the Premier League of an entire Manchester United squad with 4. He has the most shots with 29, tied for the second most through balls with 3. So there you are, everybody. You can already see kind of actually the creative numbers that he's already coming up with. He's tied for third most shot creating actions in the entire squad with 30, second most goal creating actions with 5, which I think is very impressive. And he also has the third most players dribbled past. And again, Man United squad full of techers and whatnot. That does show that the guy is, pretty dangerous at getting by his man, with 15 players dribbled past so far this season. The most carries into the penalty area. Now, that for me is a fantastic stat. Again, I do think that Mason Greenwood is a very talented player, and I will concede that. So I think that is a very dangerous stat as well when you take it into consideration. How many times he is taking it into the penalty area must be discussed. But also, he has the most progressive carries as well in the entire Manchester United squad with 64, and he is the second most progressive passes received in the entire squad, which is a pass of 10 yards or more with 54. All I can say is Mason Greenwood, very much an unsung hero for Manchester United this season. I do think you have to take, his threat into consideration, as much as we probably want to dig on the guy, maybe seasons past in the England squad with Phil Foden. I think that, you have to also realize that he is a very, very dangerous player. He is a very dangerous player. MS saying, I think Cavani will play instead of Ronaldo. Would not be a bad shout. Cavani does work a lot harder. He's also not a bad player by any means. He's very, very hungry probably as well, Cavani, for maybe a goal or whatnot. But so MS, that's not a bad shout. Not a bad shout. Shamu saying, I think it'll be McFred in the midfield. He loves McFreddy, Rashi, and Shawi. Maybe so. I've just heard from plenty that, maybe it's just Spurs fans that I'm listening to. They're probably anticipating that, Fred will be left out of this one. Yeah, Greenwood getting behind Reggie will be scary. And also Greenwood really likes to cut inside as well. King of the long shot. He really does enjoy cutting inside. So that must be taken into account. MS saying Nuno versus Ole, two of the worst managers at the moment. Yeah, that's, maybe not in the case of, I guess if you look at the entire Premier League, I mean, Nuno definitely isn't making himself look too great, but I think he's probably better than a few others more, but definitely Ole is not doing himself any favors. I would tell you that, but let's move on here, everybody. Our key player is going to be Bruno Fernandes. I don't think this is a big surprise to anybody. The reason why I haven't included Ronaldo as maybe the key player is just because I don't think he's a bit too obvious. And as well, but we have to realize that if you stop Bruno Fernandes, I think you do stop Manchester United. So with Bruno Fernandes, he has the most progressive passes received with 70. So that means any pass that's 10 yards or more, he has received the most in the entire squad. Is the most pressures in the attacking third with 51, the most shot creating actions with 50. That is most chances created, the most crosses, the most through balls, the most passes made while under pressure, the most passes into the penalty area, the most key passes, which is basically a pass that sort of leads to a great chance. And then he also is tied for the most goals with Mason Greenwood with 4, and he has the second most shots with 26. Bruno Fernandes is a brilliant player. That's all it needs to be said. He really is a brilliant player, and he must be stopped. So that's why he is a player that I really do think will have to be targeted and will be a player that we have to absolutely shut down in the midfield, like I do believe Paul Markey brought up in a super chat earlier. So really well said, Paul. So that's why I feel like he is a player that we have to absolutely target and a player that we have to take out of the game. I'll repeat again. If you make this, a difficult game for Bruno Fernandes, you make it difficult for Man United. That's my thoughts on it. But let me know if you disagree. Maybe he is not the most key player in it. Again, our unsung hero is Mason Greenwood, and then our key player is Bruno Fernandes here. So let's move on to how do Manchester United attack. And they do kind of rely on individual moments. So this is kind of a lot of these animations here are kind of being, involved around maybe individual moments. I think they're a team that just rely on individual greatness, rely on like very, kind of skillful times, either a shot from outside the box, a beautiful through ball played. It's not really anything having to do with Ole's tactics, in my belief. It really has nothing to do with Ole's tactics when I think about it. It really is mostly having to do with just Manchester United relying on brilliant players to make something out of nothing. That's personally how I see them kind of attacking most often. If not that, then they do rely on the counterattack. But again, that doesn't think that speaks to very much of a tactical genius. So our first goal here is going to be Ronaldo cutting inside. I'm basically kind of taking this from that, goal that was ruled out against Liverpool recently. I do think that is kind of a way that, Ronaldo does rely. He does like the step overs, cutting inside, and then hitting it either on his left or his right. And so this one is going to be kind of simple, if you ask me, but it is maybe something that is worth diving into here. So we do have in this case Bruno Fernandes and Ronaldo kind of linking up here with each other, finding a bit of space. It is going to be Luke Shaw overlapping, final Bruno Fernandes there. He gives it back to Ronaldo, makes a cut into the box. Ronaldo just tries to make a shot on goal here, but Lloris, in this case, will save it. Let me know, everybody. How do you see kind of Ronaldo playing so far this season? How do you rate his season this season, Cristiano? I think he's not done too terribly, but at the same time, he has kind of fallen off a bit of the pedestal that he originally started on. He started off hot, and now he's maybe a bit cold at the moment. So let me know how you think he is doing. Just going to get to a few more of these comments. Thank you, Shamu. Definitely smash that like button. Please, please, please do, especially if you are joining us tonight. Really would appreciate it, as well as probably more the luck again for Spurs to be able to get that win tomorrow. Would like Tanganga to become a versatile back and play the left side to give us even more toughness on defense. Would like to see a back line of Royale, Romero, Sanchez, Tanganga. Interesting. So like Tanganga playing like an inverted left wing back or something like that, or an inverted left back. That could be a bit interesting also. That could be an interesting take there. Maybe dive further into that for me if you would like. Greenwood getting behind Reggie will be scary. Like you said earlier, completely agree. Reggie, Sanchez, Romero, Royale could be the line of the future. They all speak Spanish, so that helps. You're absolutely right, Kane the long shot. Probably in the case of the least of Royale, I think in his time in La Liga has probably allowed him to be able to improve his Spanish skills. Age is a number with him. He has a better body than most 28-year-olds. He has a better body than me, and I'm 24, getting the long shot, and recently 24 as well. So he definitely has a better body than me. He definitely has a better bottom than me. William McKenzie saying Tanganga is awesome in 1v1s. He certainly is. He certainly is. That's why I'm actually going to, maybe a bit of a spoiler here, everybody. Maybe a bit of a spoiler, but I am going to go for Tanganga in my lineup tomorrow, just because I feel like we have to take into consideration that individual threat that Ronaldo and the rest of these players do have. So we want someone that is a bit more defensively minded, and I do think that will be Tanganga. 2-1 to United. Big up Marlon Daly. I know you're probably not a Spurs fan, but hopefully you're doing well, my man. Hopefully you're doing well. And Tell saying no matter his age, he will be dangerous. I completely agree. I'm never writing off Ronaldo, so that's why I think we have to use this animation and take it very seriously. But we are going to move on to Bruno's vision as the other big threat for this one. I just feel like with this one, this could be, him just playing one of those beautiful through ball passes, one of those little dinks that he always does. He's just so clever at finding people in the Man United side. He's very difficult to take out of the game. Very, very difficult. And I really respect Bruno Fernandes. I really do. I think he is a brilliant player. I wish we had him. I wish we actually went for him. Daniel Levy, cough, cough. But we're gonna have to reconcile with the threat that he does pose against us, and he does have world-class ability, and that's what we're going to be kind of discussing here. The guy, again, most shot-creating actions in the entire squad, practically leads in the most key passes, as well as any other kind of form of creating chances than any other player in the entire side. I think Bruno is injured. MS, I did not know that. I did not know that. If Bruno is injured, that would be huge. Absolutely huge, because then if he isn't, oh my gosh, don't mess with me like that, MS. Don't mess with me like that. That would be fantastic, though. That would be fantastic. So this one is going to be a beautiful bit of link up play. I can't believe I'm saying that, because I don't like to say that about another team. but this is kind of a pretty decent animation here. It's just a bit of link up play through the middle of the park, exactly where we do not want them to be playing. It's going to be, again, kind of down the flank of Luke Shaw's side, and it's just going to be Bruno kind of dictating the play here with Ronaldo. Ronaldo cuts back inside and finds that back of the net here. This one I do kind of anticipate happening. It is Matic also as well. With Matic, in my belief as well, I think in Matic's case, he's actually kind of a very he's not good defensively anymore as he used to be, but I still rate Matic's ability to find players. He's still quite clever on the ball. He still can actually, have a bit of techers for how much of a tall and lanky player he is. He actually has a better touch than I think people give him credit for, but he's not good defensively. So we will try to expose him as best we can. But here it is again. Bruno Fernandes just kind of dictating play here, just kind of moving around the park in such a very industrious and very, clever way, and then just finds Ronaldo making that run across into the 18, into the penalty area, and then just making the most of it from there. Going over to Dyer's side, gets Dyer and Romero a bit switched up there. Again, this seems realistic to you, then it probably is. But if this doesn't seem like a realistic goal, let me know, because I'd be happy to, maybe say that this wouldn't happen. But, I think this could be a very, very realistic scenario. Just going to go through a bit of comments while this plays for everybody. Chris saying, MS, you almost had us celebrating with that. No Bruno playing. Yeah, MS. That was quite cruel, my man. That was quite cruel, but I absolutely love it. Absolutely loved it. Sean Byrne saying, Matic scored one of the best goals at Wembley against the Yids. Yeah, I do rate Matic. I'm just going to take a quick sip here, Sean, but I think he's brilliant. He's played for teams that I absolutely despise my entire life, but I do think that Matic has actually had a very good career. I think he's a brilliant left-footed player. I think he has a lot of techers that people have never noticed. He's very good at actually kind of taking the ball high up the pitch and making, chances out of nothing sometimes. And I think he's, for at least a few years, for at least a few seasons, one of the best center defensive mids, one of the best holding midfielders in all of world football. I mean, that was a long time ago, but I think that still means that the class is somewhat still there. And like people are saying, Matic does have a banger in him. Our attacking has to be on point tomorrow. Completely agree, Adam. Completely agree. It really, really does. Jam saying, imagine being owned by Enoch types for 20 years, going on another 20 years. Yeah, I mean, that's my life, Jam. So, probably have to be getting used to it. Yeah, definitely. Skip is going to handle Bruno. Don't worry, Jack. No, he gets stuck in for a living, Clement. Gets stuck in for a living. I have complete confidence in Skippy and Højbjerg being up for the battle. They're probably eating from the Vikings table at the moment, just, probably enjoying a big old steak, before the match. Probably actually maybe something a bit healthier, maybe celebrating with steak after. But yeah, they eat from the Vikings table, both of them. They're honestly brilliant. And when you ask mom for Bruno Fernandes, and she gives you Fernandes at home, but it's Jet said, "Oh gosh, Kane, that's exactly what happened. I mean, it really is sad. It really is sad. Just making sure I'm not missing any other comments here. Bruno, no. Tango Ben Al Sheet, though. Hopefully you're keeping well, my man. Hopefully you're keeping well. Just making sure every Bruno. Jammy Git, hope and pick yourself up, Jammy Git, saying Bruno should have been our player. Another one to thank Levy the Liar for. Exactly. We got Jetson Fernandes instead. But it seems like those are all the comments for right now. Just check. Bruno is fit for tomorrow. So is Veron. Very unfortunate, Tells. Very, very unfortunate. Sean Byrne, all are welcome. All are welcome, Sean, especially when it comes to Stats with Jack. All are welcome. David, big up, David. The legend, David, not David Harris, but the other legend of the David Army. Hopefully you're keeping well. He says, hi, Jack, big day tomorrow. Sunny will shine tomorrow. He definitely will. He's going to be absolutely soaring tomorrow. And I think Dark Sun G said he's going to get that brace. So that would be absolutely lovely. I would be ecstatic if we got any win. Again, I'm very scared of Man United. I've just always been. They're kind of just one of those teams that it's not like I really respect them. It's just I've just always been afraid of them. They're just a very scary team, I think, to come up with. No matter how far they've fallen from grace, they're just always been a scary team for me to come up against. William McKenzie saying, Chris, if Reguilon pushes up, Tanganga can become a third center back in attack. If Reguilon took on a wing back, that would could open up. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, that could open up all the space for Son. William McKenzie, fantastic tactical insight, fantastic tactical insight. And we're going to break that down later, which is why I want Tanganga to be starting, because if we saw with Italy, with Giovanni Di Lorenzo with Italy would actually move into that third center back position when they would go forward. And then Spinazzola was the one that actually would be flying forward. I would love for Spurs to do that, especially against bigger teams. I would love for Spurs to do that, because then that could allow Reguilon to cause havoc down the left-hand side like Spinazzola did for Italy. But then also when we're going forward, we can still have that defensive assuredness of someone like Tanganga back there. So I completely agree, man. I completely agree. Very good insight there. Very good insight, William McKenzie. Three center backs is the way. And a lot of people that aren't Spurs fans, Big Papa, have said that we need to go with three center backs. So I completely agree. I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything. But big up everybody, really do. Appreciate all the comments that are coming in. Really appreciate all the support as well. Greenwood cutting inside is going to be my next threat. Greenwood cutting inside is going to be my next threat. But first, let's get to the super chat from Kuva99. And he's saying, I'd stick Pierre-Emile Højbjerg on Bruno and tell him to play dirty. Oh, I'd love. You're speaking to me right here, Kuva99, man after my own heart. And he's saying, I'd stick Pierre-Emile Højbjerg on Bruno and tell him to play dirty. Achilles, rakes, standing on toes, straight forearm, do the full Lamella and rattle him off a game. I would say, combine a bit of Pepe and mix it with a bit of Lamella. That's what I would say, Kuva99. A bit of that nastiness, a bit of that, old Real Madrid kind of dirtiness is what we're going to need for this match. That's what I would say. I personally think that Pierre-Emile Højbjerg is completely capable of it. He has the nasty side in him. I think he is brilliant to watch, Højbjerg, especially on the defensive end. He is a guy that knows how to get stuck in, just like Skippy, in my belief. And I would love to see him do exactly what you're saying. I think someone's going to have to take Bruno out of the game. It could be Højbjerg. It could be Skippy. It's going to have to be one of them. It's going to have to be one of them, Kuva99. But let us know, everybody in the chat, even help me out with the super chat. Is this crucial? Would you want to see Højbjerg pull maybe a page out of Lamella's book for this match? Let us know. But Kuva99, I couldn't agree more. I think that's a fantastic super chat, my man. And that's a fantastic comment. And I am a fan of the dark arts, Kuva99. Maybe you've noticed that. I am a bit of a fan of the dark arts. I absolutely love it. I think it's absolutely necessary in every single team. You need a man that is skilled in the dark arts. Like I said, Sergio Ramos and Pepe, the two greatest dark arts players of all time, practically two Voldemorts on the pitch. And so it is absolutely necessary. Højbjerg needs to pog Bruno. Tango Vinal shit. Pick yourself up. And Kuva99, that's a fantastic comment. Para Miguel Escoberto saying 3 at the back is not a bad idea. You guys are all tactical geniuses. I'll tell you that, because as well, Man United this season have really struggled against 3 in the back this season. There have been multiple teams that have found them out with the 3 in the back. Atalanta found them out. Leicester City found them out, and plenty more, as well as we knew Aston Villa did, of course, too. So it's something that we do have to realize and take into consideration. I don't see Nuno just lining up entirely with a 3 in the back system. So that's why I think maybe a hybrid version of that could be Tanganga playing at right back, and we're still going 4 in the back, but going forward, we're more of a 3 in the back, where it's actually Reguilon pushing very high, and then Tanganga being a bit more defensively assured in, a back 3, kind of dropping back a bit. But everybody's going with the 3 in the back. I think that's absolutely brilliant. You guys are all tactical geniuses. I'll tell you that. You guys could be running this show. Big Boss Man with the big woo! Pick yourself up, Big Boss Man. Hopefully you're keeping well. Boss. Hopefully you're keeping well. I'm not sure if we need to go with 3 at the back anymore because of the new formation. Exactly, Adam. That's what I guess I was trying to say is, we can instead, do a 4 in the back, but going forward, we can be like a 3 in the back. So I see where you're coming from, Adam. I see where you're coming from. Dark Sun G, big yourself up. 3-5-2, Lloris, Tanganga, Rode and Romero, Reggie, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, Skippy, Lo Celso, Royale, Son, Kane, Lucas would be my formation. On the bench, youths plus Stevie and Tanguy. No Deli or Easy Pass. No, they got to stay away from the team. Deli and Easy Pass, because I think they're even toxic on the bench. If you ask me, Dark Sun G, I think they're even toxic on the bench. I'd probably keep Ben Davies out of there too as well, if you ask me, Dark Sun G. But with that 3-5-2, I really like, that back 3. I think that back 3 is absolutely fire, Dark Sun G. With Tanganga, Rode, and Romero. Would Sanchez do well in a back 3, I guess is what I'm thinking right now. I thought Rodon didn't have as good of a game as Sanchez in that Vitesse match, but I could understand why Rodon was a bit shaky considering he hasn't played in a long time. But Sanchez at the same time, he looks so shaky, Sanchez, but at the same time, he gets stuck in like all over the place, when you do take that into consideration. I would kind of be flip flop between Rodon and Sanchez there, but I love that back three. I mean, that's absolutely tasty back three. I would have Romero sitting in that libero role, just almost playing like a CDM as well, doing whatever he wants, practically just dictating everything. And then honestly, Reggie and Royale bombing up and down the wings would just be brilliant. Skippy, Lo Celso, could be very good with Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. That could be brilliant when you think about it. That could be brilliant because Lo Celso knows how to track back, whereas Tanguy doesn't. And with the 3 in the back, 5 in the back system, you still want players that can be able to get up and down the pitch and be able to hold their defensive shape, but also be able to get forward. And I think Lo Celso is better at that than Tanguy. I really do. And Sonny and Kane probably is the ideal front pairing. But if Kane's not in it anymore, if he's still not performing, you probably would go with Sonny and Lucas up top. So I absolutely love that, Dark Sunday. Again, another tactical genius here in the building. Another tactical genius here in the building. I feel that Man United will get a red card tomorrow. I really do think so. That would be brilliant to see. That really would be brilliant to see. I mean, they should have had 3. Let us know, everybody in the chat. Should they have had 3 red cards? We had Pogba's moment that was confirmed. Ronaldo for kicking a guy while he's down and having a little temper tantrum with somebody. That should have been a second. And then I think there's a moment, if I'm not mistaken, was it Bruno should have had a third? Who was the third? I know there was a third that should have been a red card. I think it was Bruno that should have had a red card. Who was it though? Who was it? I'm trying to remember. Let me know in the comments. Who was that third person that should have had a red card? Jack, football's a game of skill. They kick us and we kick them. Cuba 99, Graham Roberts. I love that. Great job, Cuba 99. Fantastic. Jay Selby, welcome to the building, saying no deli or winks, please. But this is Nuno. He's turning us into wolves. Yeah, it is an unfortunate reality. Nuno mentioned Romero and Royale during the pre-match as standout players. Seems like Royale would get the nod over Tanganga. I completely agree there. I completely agree. It's just I would rather see Tanganga for this one. I want to see him come back into the squad. I want to see him do a job for us. I want to see him perform similarly to how he did against Man City. But I think that is a very real reality that Royale could come back into the squad. But I would have no qualms with that. No qualms with that. I think Emerson has been brilliant this season. The guy is in the Premier League averaging over 7 tackles and interceptions per 90. That is ridiculous. The guy's getting stuck in all over the pitch. But Tanganga is still a bit better defensively, in my belief, and will be more focused defensively and can shift into that back 3 when we're going forward. So I think to each his own, but I would have no qualms with either. No qualms with either, but I think you're probably right there. I think you're probably right. No, Jack, I don't see Pierre-Emile Højbjerg playing man-to-man better if the job is given to Skip. Yeah, Clement, I think you're actually right there. I think Højbjerg is going to have to be able to get stuck in, but at the same time, Skippy is going to be the one that's going to be that last-ditch tackler. Is going to be the one doing all those, those kind of last-minute tackles, breaking up the play, whereas Højbjerg is going to be that kind of saucy man in the middle of the park, breaking up the play, winning the ball high up the pitch, but maybe not being that last man back in the midfield. So, Clement, I think you're completely right, man. I think you're completely right. Let me make sure I'm not missing any others here. Big up, everybody. John Fitzpatrick's in the building saying, honestly, see United turning us over. We are a soft touch right now. Yeah, John, I'm in a bit in your boat right now. Man United, I completely fear. They're one of those teams that I always fear, no matter what kind of form they're in. I'm never confident against them. So, John, I kind of am with you there. But with Stats or Jack, I still want to be a bit neutral about it and maybe make sure that, we can get our fair share of a shout and possibly winning this one. Bring on Lo Celso as a super sub along with Hill if necessary. That is maybe decent, but it seems like, Adam, it seems like Hill might not be available, but let me know. Maybe he is, but it seemed like Nuno wasn't willing to concede very much. Romero could step into the midfield almost as a destroyer CDM, like he played for Atalanta. Then we could do a double pivot of Ndombele, Højbjerg to not risk injuring one of Skip. Wow, Big Papa! Everybody, get Big Papa a big shout out in the chat for that tactical insight. That is beautiful to read, my man. Absolutely beautiful to read. Couldn't agree more. That's what the libero role is there, Big Papa. That's exactly what it is. And I couldn't explain it any better myself. I don't even know I have to touch on this anymore. That would be able to allow Skippy and Højbjerg to not be so heavily relied upon. I think they're brilliant together. in the back four in a 4-2-3-1. They're absolutely crucial together. But if we did a back three to switch things up so we don't have to overplay them, Big Papa, I think that's exactly how you do it. And I couldn't explain it better myself. Everybody get Big Papa, big couple GGs or, big claps, for that tactical insight. Beautiful tactical insight from the man. Big up, Jack. Sorry I'm late. No, Zoe. Don't be. Don't be. Hopefully you're enjoying your evening. And also hopefully we can all enjoy, our Ole Gunnar, Sackico Shoeshiner costumes tomorrow night, But Dark Sun G, Dermot, as well as Kuva99, Paul Markey, everybody for the super chats. Really do appreciate it. It really does go a long way, and it does make my job a lot easier. Hopefully you guys are, liking the pace of this. I am trying to, stay involved with you guys, in the chat as best I can. Simon, Premier Hotspur TV, big yourself up, man. Thank you for joining us. He says, evening, Jack. And the only way we're beating United tomorrow is to get Kane and Son firing because United will be a wounded animal tomorrow. Could not say that better myself, Simon. And I think this is going to be a huge, we've said this for a while, but this is going to be a huge match for Kane. It's going to be a huge match for him. It really is. It really is. Just making sure Hill not available. Lovely. Completely agree. Our transition can be lethal. Big yourself up, K. Completely agree, my man. Completely agree. Rico, let me answer this quickly. Who should we sign in January? You need the backup striker. I go for Julian Alvarez because we have to do it on a Levy budget. I go Julian Alvarez from River Plate. He is going to be kind of someone who can play across the front line. He'd be very, very cheap. Someone that I would maybe dip if I were to be a bit more expensive, Cody Gakpo from PSV Eindhoven. That's what I would do. I mean, the guy can play across the front line as well as backup striker, and he is on fire, Rico. And then I would probably get another center defensive mid or another center mid, of some kind that would be a bit more creative. I would go for personally Bruno Guimaraes out of Olympique Lyon. I'd pay any price for him because I think he's one of the best players in the world. I'm not kidding. So those would be my two signings. But maybe if Levy probably wouldn't let me have both of those. He really probably wouldn't. But big yourself up. Great question. Are you Nuno in or Nuno out? I'm still Nuno in because I do think it's a bit ridiculous to be sacking him this early, especially if he keeps us in all the cup competitions. If we fall out of a cup, if we lose the Europa Conference League or Carabao or FA Cup early, I would say then I could be more Nuno out, but at the moment I'm not. I just am. I'm not really satisfied with Nuno so far, but I want to give him more time. I think it's respectful to give him more time. I'm not sure if I missed it, but who is that third player? Who is that third player, everybody? Who is that third player that deserved the red card in my belief for United? Again, was it Maguire? It was Ronaldo that needed one. It was Pogba that also got one, but I think it was Bruno as well that also needed a red card. So do let me know. Just making sure I'm not missing anything. Big yourself up, Kano. Big yourself up, my man. But yeah, everybody, big yourselves up in the comments. We are going to move on to now Greenwood cutting inside as our third animation, our final animation here. This one I think is absolutely important. And, it is just Greenwood just taking a shot from distance. He really exactly what it's pretty basic, guys. I mean, it's pretty basic, but if we've ever watched United play, this is what he does every time. He cuts inside on that left foot and tries to curl an absolute blinder from outside the box. And I think it's very realistic. And this is what I've kind of have spoken about before as well, where I do feel like United absolutely rely on kind of individual moments of class, individual moments of brilliance. And to a degree, we could take that to our advantage. If not all of them are playing very well, then that's how we should go about it, in my belief. That's how we should go about it, just take that to our advantage, because I don't think Ole, actually works very hard on their attacking patterns or anything. It's just these great players that they have at their disposal that, maybe just create goals out of nothing. And that's how I think they do play. And if we're able to maybe stop that, be able to make it life difficult for them, then we could possibly win this match. And they do rely on individual moments of brilliance. And so this is kind of that Mason Greenwood, kind of moment of brilliance that could potentially happen. And it is always very, very threatening. I'm going to take a quick drink here, let you guys maybe check in on that animation here. Get to some more comments. Jack, you're doing a great job, mate. I'm just worried about how United will react to the Liverpool loss. Yeah, I know. It's so convenient. It's so convenient that, this is their moment to get a bit of motivation, but has to turn up to the show tomorrow. We absolutely, Kane really does. I couldn't agree more, Simon. He really, really, really does have to turn up to this show. He really does. Now more than ever, Simon. Now more than ever. Now more than ever. Like it's. I'm desperate. I'm desperate. I don't know if I can really listen to David defending Harry Kane very much longer. I'm on his boat about it, in the Harry Kane boat. I'm in that Harry Kane boat, but I'm starting to get my own lifeboat, when it comes to it, Simon, because I need Harry Kane to show up. I need people to prove him wrong. Big Papa saying Kamara is a fantastic shout. Another really talented player going forward is Noah Lang from Brugge, but he seems like a head case. Noah Lang is a baller. He's an absolute baller. Actually, and you just reminded me, Big Papa, and I can tell that you're, a man of European insight, and European talent. I can tell you have a good taste for it. Charles de Ketelaere, the other Brugge man. I would love him. Charles de Ketelaere is a brilliant player. He could also be a fantastic backup striker to Harry Kane. And in fact, I would love him. He is filthy to watch, absolutely silky. So I would go for him, actually, Big Papa. So big yourself up. I would really go for him. Vince Vega, big yourself up for joining us, Vince Vega. He's saying, sorry for the negativity, but we always are the perfect boost for teams needing to win to launch your season. Do we want it more? That will be the key. Vince Vega, Dr. Tottenham is here to see you, as they always say, here to fix your problems, here to, make, maybe all of your qualms, any of your, issues, any of, that confidence issues. I mean, Dr. Tottenham is here to see you, here to fix any of your ailments. That's Vince Vega. You're not wrong. I mean, you're really not wrong. It's that's a phrase for a reason. Yeah. And do we want it more? That will be key. We haven't really seen that so far, Vince Vega. I really don't think we've seen that, because at least in West Ham, I thought we were the better team, but we just didn't seem like we really wanted it. We didn't really want to play a bit more dangerously or do something a bit differently, and that was maybe the big problem for me, Vince Vega. And completely agree, my man. I completely agree. Who do I think of? Jack Gelhart from Leeds. The kid looks great. Would love Spurs going for him. Ganesh, you're catching me out here. I've not really watched too much of Leeds this season because they've looked pretty dreadful. So I haven't, been catching too much of them. Let me know, Ganesh. Is that someone who we should go after? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. And also, I'm not even aware of him at all. Not really aware of him at all. So Ganesh, do let me know. Do let me know. Let's get Van de Beek. Yeah, let's take him away. Let's take him away. Brian C. Socrates saying, big up, Jack. Great show. Come on, you Spurs tomorrow. We need a fast, confident start in the home fans to help us put them to the Spurs. So come on, you Spurs. Come on, you flat up army. Big yourself up, Brian C. Socrates. Brian C. Socrates, let me know. I think the first goal is going to dictate the game, is going to decide the game. I think the first goal is going to decide the game, because both teams kind of like to sit back. Both teams like to think very pragmatically, very defensively. Both teams do like to play a bit in that, counterattacking defensive kind of shape. And that does mean then whoever scores first is going to be maybe a bit more suited to holding out to the rest of the game. And that for me is how it's going to go. We're not a team that does score first, though. So that's kind of the problem. That is kind of the problem. We're not a team that scores first. So Socrates, I would just say whoever scores first might win this game. And that would be my answer to that. And we do have to start fast, hard, and confident. And I think the best way to do that is to have someone like Harry Kane and Sonny combining very lethally, very quickly. And that's just how you would probably go about it, if you ask me, as well. Yeah, thank you, Dark Sun G. It was a Bruno high boot. I had a feeling it was Bruno. So there you go, everybody. There should have been 3 red cards. There should have been 3 red cards in that last match. They got away with a lot of it. They really got away with a lot of it. Yeah, it was a second yellow. Darog here saying it was a second yellow. So there you are, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Eris Army. I knew I could rely on you guys. So yeah, there should have been 3 red cards, and we would be probably having life be a whole lot easier. Tottenham Tantrum with another big one. Big yourself up, Tottenham Tantrum. Big yourself up, Dermot. Saying, big bro doing a brilliant job. We win tomorrow. I have no doubt about that. The fans will make White Hart Lane as a fortress. The Red Devils will have no chance. Came with 3 goals, and Nuno we trust. Dermot, it's almost like Dermot's making, the delusional optimism now, his own. He's taking it away from David and I. He's putting it into himself, and he's just making me smile with that. Honestly, Dermot, you give me goosebumps with that kind of prediction. Really, a Harry Kane just scoring in general would just be absolutely brilliant. I think that would, again, take off a bit of the haters, a bit of, the pressure off of them. And as well, though, I really want that Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, that White Hart Lane, to be in full voice tomorrow, because that's exactly what will be needed. These Man United players, they're already a bit sensitive. They're already a bit weak as it is. They're a bit kind of intimidated. So if we are able to come in full voice tomorrow, that could be maybe the difference. It could be like the Man City match when we were in full voice for that one. That made it so difficult for them. I think that was a huge factor in how we were able to hold on to that win. I could see something similar happening against Man United. So big up, Dermot. Really big yourself up. Really do appreciate you as well for this big support, and appreciate you for this absolutely fantastic optimism. This absolutely fantastic, kind of a belief in our boys, because there's so many people that don't believe in this team anymore. Maybe probably rightfully so, but I think sometimes we do just have to realize it is football at the end of the day, and it's, there's no shame in believing. There really is no shame in believing, because then when you do believe, sometimes and you see it happen, it allows you to, be very happy about it. But Dermot, really appreciate it. Belotti will be a free agent soon. That would be a fantastic, fantastic signing as well. Alexander Isaac as well will be honestly unbelievable. Those are, you guys, you're making me dream here. You're making me dream. Sardar Azmoun, I would probably toss in there as well from Zenit. You guys are making me dream with these signings, though. Making me dream. David saying Greenwood is lethal with both feet, like young son. He is absolutely lethal, David. I really like Mason Greenwood. I'll admit, I really do, really, really like him. He's just deadly, and he's an unbelievable talent. We already had him earlier, David. If you missed it, I think you were there for it as our unsung hero. So, he's unbelievable. He's been fantastic this season, and it's leading, Man United, or tied for the lead in most goals for them as well. So, really big yourself up, David, as well as Dermot, as well as Dark Sun G, as well as everybody else in the chat so far. Honestly, been incredible. Brian C. Socrates as well for the support. Really big yourselves up. Paul Markey as well. Really do appreciate it. Really do appreciate it. But I'm pretty sure we're getting towards the end of this Man United part. The last one is going to be, how do Manchester United defend? This one is going to be kind of worth a bit of explaining. It's just that 4-2-3-1 shape here that we're looking at. And with that 4-2-3-1 shape, that does mean that, they're very defensively solid in the middle. But the reason why I don't think they're as defensively solid as you might, originally anticipate, like ours is very solid in the middle. Like a lot of teams have to beat us out wide, and they don't really penetrate our middle. But in this case, I would say we really can take them out through the middle. And that's because Greenwood, Rashford, and Cristiano don't press. They don't. And they don't do any defensive work. Maybe they will for 20, 30 minutes tomorrow because the pressure is on them, but it's not in their nature to press. It really isn't. So that means that passes from Højbjerg, Skippy, Tanguy will be a lot easier than they were against other teams. And so that does mean we can penetrate some of these areas. But if we lose the ball in some of those highlighted red areas right here, some of those, little circled, flashy kind of areas that I put in there, if we lose the ball in those areas, they can break. And that's why I want Tanganga in this lineup. And the reason why I want Tanganga in this lineup is because that way we can be a bit more defensively assured. We can have Tanganga be able to counter Rashford breaking forward, or, Bruno breaking forward. And then we obviously still will have Højbjerg and Skip, being able to defend it all. If we lose the ball on these kind of flank, areas as well with Reguilón's side, that could also be very, very dangerous. But I think it could be a fascinating tactical insight. And this is just the red areas that I've highlighted here, everybody, are just areas where we don't want to lose the ball. And they seem like kind of areas that often we will lose the ball, but it's just how we lose it and at what time. Because if Reguilón is pushed too far forward, for example, that could really hurt us, because then Mason Greenwood would be able to launch forward and it'd be on Eric Dyer's side. And then Sonny might, be caught too far out, which isn't his fault. As well as we know, if Tanguy starts, he's not the most defensively reliable as well. But also Lucas, who loves to drift inside, loves to, become more of an inverted winger. If he loses the ball in a bad position, Luke Shaw and Rashford can then overload Sanchez's side, or Tanganga's side. So that also must be taken into consideration. But I will say maybe a bit of optimism could be that Bruno is going to be the only player that's going to be working hard in that middle of the park. Greenwood, Rashford, Ronaldo are not going to be helping him out whatsoever. So that must be taken into consideration. We've now gotten through the Man United section. We've now gotten through it, so we can move on to how Tottenham can win this one. Dark Sun G saying, I think Jack Gilhart from Leeds is the one who got the pen versus Wolves and made the game end 1-1. he did look promising. 4-0 Sun Brace Reggie skip. Come on, let's get that Reggie goal, Dark Sun G. Now would be a better time than ever. That would be a better time than ever. I really want to see us get that Reggie goal. The Sun Brace would be honestly as well brilliant. I think that is not a bad shout at all. Especially, if we played a bit more counterattacking, Sonny certainly could get a good bag of brace. And Skippy getting a goal. Maybe that's someone on your list, Dark Sunji. I bet he is someone on your list that you want to see get that goal, that long way to goals. The Skippy would be honestly beautiful to see get that goal. I certainly do believe so. And the Gelhardt guy is brilliant. Everybody knows about Jack Gelhardt, and I need to do my homework, everybody. Hashtag Jack do your homework. Hashtag Jack do your homework. I need to be doing it. Everybody is, talking about this Jack Gelhardt guy. Really, I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to check up on this guy. I really do, apparently. Just making sure I'm not missing anybody. Yep, the start and the first goal is key. Mindset will be very important. Couldn't agree more, my man. In your eyes, who's under more pressure, Ole or Nuno? Absolutely, Ole. I think Nuno, even if he loses this game, Simon, he won't get the sack. I think what matters most right now is Nuno, stays in all of our competitions, all of our cup competitions. I think that's the most important thing. If he were to fall out of the Carabao, the FA, or the Europa Conference League, I think that would be kind of bye-bye Nuno, because I think we do need to go for some sort of cup run in order to maybe make the fans a bit more satisfied, make me a bit more satisfied. And I have very low expectations, I'll tell you that. Dr. Tottenham, LOL, good one, Jack. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's the phrase. It is the phrase, the very unfortunate phrase. The Athletic did a piece on Gelhardt, comparing him to Rooney. He played well, really well against Wolves. They got him from Wigan. Did not know that. Again, I'm learning something from you guys. You guys are teaching me today. Jack, do your homework. I'll say it again. And also Dark Sun G, really do appreciate that. And again, it looks like I need to be doing my homework here. It really does. It really does seem so. Really, I'll check out Jack Gelhardt. Maybe I'll put him in a scout report. But if they just signed him, that probably means it will be very difficult to get him unless Leeds get relegated this season, which would be a bit interesting. That would be a bit interesting if that happened. But I think it'd be very difficult for us to get him if they just signed him. But maybe they didn't. I'm not sure. Again, I know nothing about the guy. Maybe one of the few players I'll admit I know nothing about. So there you are, everybody. There you are. But before I do this, I am gonna. Should be saying, Jack, do your homework. Going to take a final drink here before we move into the to the Spurs section here. Finally, we moved into the Spurs section. But big up, everybody. Do appreciate all the support. The Carabao Cup draw is tomorrow, Dark Sun G. I believe probably, I think my time it's in the morning. I think it's in mid-afternoon or something like that in the UK. And you want Brentford. We want Sunderland, mate. We want Sunderland. But I would also maybe take, the Gooners. I really would. I really would. I kind of want a bit of revenge, a bit of early revenge, if you ask me. But big yourself up, Dark Sun G. You want Brentford? I think Brentford, maybe they aren't going to prioritize those competitions, Darks and G. That might not be a bad shout. Maybe that's the logic, but I think Brentford, I'm actually quite afraid of Brentford at the moment. They're doing, because, God, Darks and G. Again, Jack, do your homework. Jack, do your homework, everybody. Yeah, no Raya. He was on my fantasy team as well I do a season-long fantasy team. Dark Sun G, not one of the draft ones where you draft every week. I did one where, it's like a season long one. We were kind of stuck with the players you got. And I did draft Raya, and he's out till March. So that's a great shout, Dark Sun G. That is a great shout. They're going to be heavily hurt by that. Dark Sun G, I mean, again, like you making me do my homework again with Jack Elhart as well as, Brentford now. Dark Sun G, pick yourself up. Jack, I think Lucas and Royale have a good dynamic going, both in attack, which you risk putting Tanganga in. That's Ganesh. I could see it working out both ways. I could see Lucas and Royale doing fantastic. I personally just, have a bit of like a moment where I was saying to someone who said that Royale hasn't been good defensively this season. I completely disagreed. I think Royale's been getting stuck in all over the pitch again, in the Premier League alone compared to other Premier League fullbacks. He's already looking like practically the best Premier League fullback defensively this season. He has more than 7 tackles and interceptions combined per 90 this season. I think that's ridiculous. If you even go over 365 days, he has over 5 tackles and interceptions per 90 this season. The man is an absolute monster, I think, Ganesh. So I think Lucas and Royale will develop a great connection this season. I think they're very, very different kind of players. Like Royale is the one that overlaps where Lucas drifts inside, which is just a great dynamic. But I don't want, if Man United are going to be on the counterattack, that's how they're going to hurt us most, I feel like, Ganesh. So that's why I want Tanganga there, because Tanganga, I don't think will be caught on the counter as much. But I think both versions of what you're talking about, could work, but I'm going to put Tanganga in for this one. It probably will be Royale, but I'm going to go for Tanganga and Ganesh. I think either or. I wouldn't be really, too fussed. I really wouldn't. Ganesh saying Jack carrying the stream alone like a boss. Thank you, Ganesh. Really do appreciate that. I still need to be doing my homework though, Ganesh. Still need to be doing my homework, mate. Because clearly I'm missing out on a couple of players that I could be signing in the transfer market. So really do appreciate that support though, Ganesh. And also great question earlier. Great question. Just making sure I'm not missing any other good comments here. Dan N saying, welcome, Dan N as well. I want Liverpool, looks good on paper, boost the boys' confidence, but we'll only have to play the B team. I agree, Dan N. That's what I even said. I think the other stream as well. I actually do want Liverpool as maybe my backup, kind of pick, because they do they don't prioritize the Carabao. So I do agree, Dan N. What does Ndombele bring to the team attacking wise? I think he brings a bit of techer, a bit of ingenuity, a bit of magic. Okay, something that no other player can really necessarily do in the middle of the park. We look at what Dele tries to pull off in terms of flicks, tricks, and whatnot, and I think Tanguy just does it better. That would be my belief. Whereas Gio is a bit more assured, a bit more reliable, a bit safer. I would say Gio's a bit safer player to use, but I think Tanguy, if you compare Tanguy with Dele, like the current Dele, I think he's just does exactly what Dele Alli's always been trying to do, but he just does it better, in my belief. Just making sure I'm not missing any more here. Hopefully Spurs will turn up as a team. Big up MS. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us, mate. Just making sure I'm not missing anything here. Everybody's saying the Gelhardt guy is brilliant. Clearly I've missed out on an absolute gem. But there we are. Aaron Dub has joined us. Buy fluffy drink, Jacko. Fortunately, it's just been, the sodas as well as the beers tonight, Aaron Dub. So maybe later when I hit, the Brooklyn, bars, maybe tomorrow night or something, I will get that fluffy drink. Thanks to you, Aaron Dub. So pick yourself up. Really do appreciate it, my man. Hopefully you're keeping well this Friday evening, brother. And also, thank you very much. I do enjoy a fluffy drink. Maybe I'll do it on a pina colada or potentially a daiquiri. Let's see what else is in there. Maybe a tactical. It's fall season. It's October season, Aaron Dub. So maybe a tactical kind of like old fashioned. I had an old fashioned that was apple cider with whiskey. And I thought that was actually really, really good, Aaron Dub. Maybe that sounds way too fluffy for you, but it was absolutely delicious. So those would be my 3 options, what I would be going for, Aaron Dub. But really do appreciate it, brother, as well as everybody that's super chatted tonight and everybody giving their comments in as well. It really does go a long way. Anybody that is new, though, tonight to Stats with Jack, please hit that like, please hit that subscribe, and also please hit that notification bell if you don't want to miss another one like this, just to chill out on a Friday night and talk a bit of tactics, talk a bit of stats as well. But everybody, big yourselves up, really big yourselves up, and thank you for all the support tonight. Thank you for all the support. It really does go a long way. Just buy fucking beer, mate. No, will do, Aaron Dub. I mean, that's what I actually prefer, Aaron Dub. As much as I do like to joke about the fluffy drinks, I do prefer a good old beer. I'm kind of even maybe again the hipster in me, the hipster football nerd in me goes for more of the IPA. But I'd probably, I just enjoy it all. That's probably the problem, Aaron Dub. I just enjoy every single drink that exists. So, that is kind of the problem. But Aaron Dub, I'm just going to have a fucking beer, just like you said I am. That's what I'm going to go with. That's what I have in the fridge. That's what I'm going with tonight. So don't you worry, Aaron Dub. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much. There is going to be a watch along tomorrow, JC. Don't you worry, man. Don't you worry. There will be a watch along tomorrow. Cider and whiskey, very interesting. Yeah, it is actually quite good. Bit of sugar you throw in there as well. Maybe even, put in, a little apple garnish on top. Honestly, delish. Absolutely delish. But now we're going to do Tottenham Hotspur. We're going to do their formation. This is what I see happening tomorrow. It could be Tanguy instead of Gio. It could be Emerson Royale instead of Tanganga. The only reason I'm going with this, everybody, again, is because Nuno did say there would be changes. He did say there would be changes, and I think Tanganga might be that change, or Gio could be that change for Tanguy. That's about it. That's about it. Maybe potentially Sanchez in for Dyer could be another potential change. All three of those could work. I wouldn't have too much problem with, but yeah, this is going to be what I would predict happening tomorrow. I think the Tanganga one's a bit of a stretch, is a bit of a shout, but I think that's what would really help us tomorrow. I think that's what actually be, to a degree, maybe a bit of a winning formula there, but do let me know maybe if you guys disagree. Moving on, though, our unsung hero here is going to be most players, Lucas, and I'm getting too early into the stats here. But it is going to be Lucas Moura. He has the most players dribbled past with 20 in our entire team. So this is, just in our squad, comparison to our squad. Most progressive carries with 54. That is ridiculous, I will say. And I love a good progressive carry, which is a carry that's 10 yards or more. Most carries into the final third in our squad with 22. Most aerial duels won. He has the most aerial duels won, Lucas, which is just stupid. That is just stupid with 25. I mean, that is just ridiculous. I mean, the man is less than 6 feet tall, and he has the most aerial duels won, and he's a right winger as well. So, honestly, Lucas, I mean, he is an athletic freak for his age. He really is. I think he's 29, 30 as well. So again, like he's almost reaching towards the end of his prime. And man is just an absolute freak. The man is just an absolute freak. Honestly, that is unbelievable athleticism. Third most shot creating actions, which is basically just chances created with 17. Third most progressive passes, which is a pass that's 10 yards or more with 30. Third most passes into the final third with 25. Great stat there. And the third most key passes. Basically, Lucas Moura is even more than Kane actually this season. Has been, I think it's been Region and Son that have been our most creative players this season. And then it's actually then Lucas has been kind of our third most creative player. But Lucas, he has a few kind of unique characteristics, which are those aerial duels one, as well as those, that ability to skin past any player that's in front of him. So that will be crucial tomorrow, especially going up against Luke Shaw. Be absolutely crucial. Key player. I mean, who else but Sonny? The man is just Mr. Reliable. Probably don't even have to break this down because the guy's just an absolute beast. Most key passes with 16. Basically, that is a pass that leads to any sort of great opportunity or chance. Second most passes into the penalty area with 10. Most shot creating actions, which is the most chances created, with 28. Most shots on target with 10. Most shots with 21. Most progressive passes received, which is a pass that's 10 yards or more. He's received the most with 59. Most touches in the attacking penalty area with 41. Most carries into the penalty area with 9. I mean, the guy is basically the person that you rely on to create a chance, to score a goal, to put a shot on target, to basically do everything. That is Sonny. He is Mr. Everything, Mr. Reliable. I don't think we need to break that down much further. I'm just making sure. Yeah, we like his dribbling. Yeah, he's unbelievable. But also, so is Sonny. I mean, Sonny knows how to take on a man. I'll tell you that. He does know how to dribble past player, but Lucas is unbelievable. He honestly is unbelievable. He is a machine. He is a machine. Shamu and Aaron Duggan. Take it easy on him, Shamu. Take it easy on him, man. Wayne Bonner saying, my preferred formation is a 3-5-2 defensive and attacking. Get both Son and Kane right on their center backs, and Royale, Reggie with Tanguy supplying them the ball. Wayne Bonner, everybody give him up for that tactical formation and that tactical insight. I couldn't not agree more. And again, Wayne Bonner, a lot of people that aren't Spurs fans that I have spoken to that I do really trust for their tactical insight have said that would be the best way for us to go forward, is to go to a 3 in the back, 5 in the back, not just for this game, but just for the future in general, Wayne Bonner. So you're definitely not wrong there. A lot of people, especially fans that don't really have the bias that us Spurs fans have said that is the best way that we should go forward. Okay, saying Lucas leaps like Ronaldo. I mean, honestly, he seems to even have a higher vertical than Ronaldo. Ronaldo, I do believe, has a higher average vert than the average NBA player or something like that. And I would say Lucas is probably similar, if you ask me. Nuno's going to pick himself. Smash a like for the solo Jack, who has done a cracking job tonight. Really appreciate that, Shamu. Really do appreciate that. Like, subscribe, comment, put in the notification bell as well to never miss another Stats with Jack like this one. Throw in a super chat as well if you want me to, really discuss your comment at length. Also to have it be put on screen because I am, having to do this all on my own at the moment, which does make life a bit more difficult. But I really do appreciate all of the love that I have received so far. And Spurs 72, really big yourself up. I do appreciate it, my man. Do appreciate it. Island life, going with the classic Lucas quote, coys, 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 coys. Yeah, very common. That's on one of my favorite quotes, one of the most legendary philosophical quotes you could ever get from a footballer. I'll tell you that, Island life. Tell you that. But we are going to move on now to how do Spurs attack? How do Tottenham attack here? Beautiful little faces from all three of our men up front. This is a bit of chaos. I apologize. Bit of chaos, everybody. It's a little chaotic, but this is kind of how we could counterattack Man United. This is how Man United won going forward against us. They were deep in our own half. The green is basically, the areas where if we do win the ball back and get it into basically Tanguy in those areas, we can break. And the reason I think we could break from there is because they don't transition well back in defense. They can be counterattacked actually very, very easily, Man United. So getting the ball into Tanguy or Gio right there will be a very good sign. And also getting Reguilón high up the pitch could be brilliant because Greenwood does not track back or do any defensive work whatsoever. He thinks he's a striker. But as well, though, we need to get the ball into Tanguy, Reggie, Sonny, Lucas, basically to spring forward here. And that will then rely on Skippy and Højbjerg doing that, or Romero. The red areas are areas where I do think, that Man United will hurt us. Greenwood, I think, is just a very dangerous player. He could either pass it inside to Bruno. He could, give it into Ronaldo there in that little red area. He could also, take it out wide, put a ball in the box. Luke Shaw and Rashford overlaps could also be very, very, very dangerous. But I think that's what I would probably say. Again, counterattacking. This is how I could see us counterattacking. I'm sorry, it looks a bit chaotic there, but this is how I see us counterattacking, with Sonny penetrating those spaces there, and those will all come from through balls from either Tanguy or Gio. This is going to be how I see us going forward. And this is what I was kind of talking about earlier. If you see at the top of your screen there, that little blue area that's being highlighted there is why I would go for Tanganga as a right back in tomorrow's fixture. Because with Tanganga there, we can actually basically attack like Italy did in the Euros, where he can basically play as a third center back and allow Skippy to not be so defensively responsible, or at least just not have to be everywhere all at once. Højbjerg can be kind of sitting back in that pivot, pinging balls left and right and center, especially as well. Højbjerg at times has almost dropped into like a third center back and has actually found, that time and space on the ball to ping that ball over to Reguilón. That's where you see that squiggly line kind of going across to the left-hand side of the pitch, which is where Reguilón will be receiving the ball. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, everybody, as much as he is a good defender, he really does struggle with balls over the top. He really does, actually. As much as he is a good defender, he does struggle with pinged passes. He does struggle with, balls that are high in the air. So he will, that is a good way to go after him. Also, that little slip in through ball that Højbjerg can play into Lucas is also very possible. Højbjerg is going to be crucial this match. Tanguy, we need Tanguy to float all over the pitch to find those areas for Kane. Bruno is going to have a big job in front of him tonight or tomorrow night, because Bruno, he's going to have to basically do all the defensive work of Rashford, Greenwood, and Cristiano. And then McTominay and Matic. I would say Matic is especially someone who we should target defensively. We're going forward. And then also Reguilón and Sonny, the overlaps there are going to be very, very crucial. The reason why, though, is because with Sonny and Reguilón, again, they've been our most creative fullbacks this season. And with that, or our most creative players this season. And with that in mind, that does mean if we get the ball at the edge of the box there, I do feel like one of them can put in a very, very good ball into the box, or even just create something for themselves over there. So that's how I would say we break down this team. This one's a bit less chaotic, but again, the reason why I would go for Tanganga is because of that blue highlighted selection of there. I think you can tell how defensively, it looks so defensively solid if we were to be like that. I do feel like that would neutralize a lot of things and a lot of threats from Man United. But Sonny on the counter is going to be one of my goals here. This is a very sexy goal, if I do remember creating. Just making sure I'm not missing anything in the comments here. Big up everybody as well for the comments. Really appreciate all the support. Um, and let's go for this sunny counter. It's going to be absolutely beautiful to watch, everybody. So this is basically just a situation where Tanguy picks up the ball, exactly what we were talking about earlier, where we get Tanguy the ball into the middle of the park here. He skins past a man and then is able to find Sonny in that exact avenue that we were just talking about. We just showed with those green lines earlier. This is how I could see a goal happening on the counter attack. I think this could be very realistic, could be very plausible. It's Skippy getting stuck in as well. And Greenwood tries to cut inside. Skippy sees it ahead of time, wins the ball back, gets the ball quickly into Tonguy's feet. Tanguy then plays a slip through ball in behind. Check, get your possums homework done for next time. Will do. Especially when it comes to Leeds United. Clearly, I have not been watching enough of Leeds this season. It's just when I've been seeing the results, it's looked pretty horrible. It's looked pretty horrible. Some of the results. I haven't been able to really watch them. I don't know where the possums came up from. Let me see. Appreciate that, Clement. Really do appreciate that. But again, there are a lot of tactical geniuses in the chat right now. I can tell you that. I've gotten beautiful questions, very, very insightful questions from everyone. Everyone's talking. Oh, it must be someone's talking. I'll tell you what I have over here is not possums, though. They are rats, and that is New York City. And I'll tell you that New York is and Brooklyn as well. I mean, it's known for the rats. So I probably would prefer a possum over a rat, but let me know. Maybe possums are a bit more annoying, a bit more deadly. But I would, maybe rather have a possum problem than maybe a rat problem. But I could be totally wrong with that. I could be totally wrong with that. But again, just to finish this one, it's exactly what that diagram was showing earlier. That still diagram is we need to get the ball into Tonguy's feet here, and then from Tanguy, he can take a little bit of a dribble or two and fill in that beautiful through pass in or that through ball into Sonny's feet, and then Sonny can take it around the keeper for a goal. Gio can do the exact same thing here, so it's not entirely implausible that Gio also does this. I think either or can play this pass. Probably Gio has a better chance of playing this pass than maybe Tanguy does, but I think sometimes we do underrate Tonguy's passing ability, but I think with Tanguy at least is that he can create the space for himself to make that pass. For Gio, maybe not as much, but this is exactly, I think, a way that we could score. I think this is one of the most likely ways that we could score even. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this animation. Going to move on to the next one. That was a beautiful sunny goal, though, I will admit. Lucas drifting inside is going to be the other one. This one I do think is we've seen it all season. I think you haven't been watching Spurs if you haven't seen Lucas drifting inside and maybe cutting inside as kind of an inverted winger. It's been happening all season. Really, thank you very much, Kay. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. I really do appreciate that. Son will dance on them. Yeah, he will. He will. He'll be getting inside and he'll be able to find if someone gives Son the service, then we will win this match. If we find those through balls into Sonny, if we find those pockets of space for Sonny, because Sonny is the most intelligent. He's just has some of the most intelligent movement play as a winger, I think, in world football. As much as Salah, I think, is rated as a fantastic winger, as much as Salah, has brilliant movement himself. I think Sonny has just the striker's instinct, to get in behind the defense. He sincerely does. That's why I love Sonny, because he has some of the most intelligent movement in all of world football. And all you need then is just a Christian Eriksen like player in the middle there to find those passes in for him. And it could be Gio, it could be Tanguy. Certainly would rather it be Christian Eriksen, but we can no longer think that way. So, I really do think that, it's going to be crucial that Sonny just continues to do what he's been doing. And it's just he needs the service. It's just Sonny, though, also needs to trust his teammates and rely on, them to find him, because that's been a bit of the problem, as it seems like Harry Kane and Sonny sometimes don't trust their teammates in order for them to find them, which is well warranted. But at the same time, you need to still make those runs in behind, because there were moments when I even saw it against Burnley where Sonny just wasn't making a run, or Harry Kane wasn't making a run when there was clearly a run right in front of them. And it's hard to criticize either of them, but that has been the case where sometimes they don't seem to trust their teammates, and we need to trust each other tomorrow, guys. We really do need to trust each other. Dermot in here with the kitty cat super sticker up here with the number one. So big yourself up, Dermot. Really appreciate all the support, my brother. Really do appreciate all the support. It's very, very nice of you. And again, it really does go a long way helping David and I try to, achieve the dream as well. um, Big up Lucas drifting inside. Hopefully, all the Lucas Moura sexuals will enjoy this one. They really, I bet they will. Um, so let me just move on to it while I address more comments. I'll just play the animation for everybody. Lucas Moura here, a bit of inside with Højbjerg. This is, I think, we've seen this actually happen where Dane Scarlett in the friendlies, as well as even Lucas has done this against Burnley. He did this against Newcastle United, where he drifts inside like that and then tries to find a beautiful slip through ball into somebody. Sometimes he doesn't play it, sometimes he does, but when he does, it is deadly. And this is where it's just a little link up play between Højbjerg and him, and then he plays Harry Kane inside. Lucas Moura, this is exactly how we see him play. He skins Luke Shaw here, then just causes havoc. I mean, again, we can even see all the players collapsing on Lucas, which isn't a problem for him. He seems to find a way to navigate through multiple players. And to be honest, I even think Lucas sometimes when he dribbles, it's almost like he's dribbling in slow motion because he's somehow able to take on man after man after man, which I just think makes his ability so impressive sometimes. He really is an impressive player. Ole will focus on Sonny and Kane. Lucas will get us the goal. Really do agree, Sarov. Really do agree. Big yourself up. I couldn't agree more. I think that is something that may be a bit underrated is Lucas's ability to create something out of nothing, Lucas's ability to just cause havoc. And when he causes havoc, when he forces some of these players like here to make a decision, he will find Harry Kane and Sonny. No matter if, the entire Man United side is focused on Sonny and Harry Kane, he will find them if he takes on enough players, if he's brave enough. So I think that is absolutely correct. I think that is totally correct. So big yourself up. As Craig Bowler's in the house. Big yourself up, Craig Bowler. Big up yourself, my man. Big up yourself. Sit back and play the Sonny and Kane counter show. Definitely MA. Definitely MA. Lucas will capitalize on Maguire mistakes. Definitely. And also if Lucas were to press, Harry Maguire as well. Harry Maguire, he's really struggled this season, of even being on the ball. I thought Maguire's, on the ball ability is still pretty decent at times. It can be very impressive, but as well though, like, the guy can sometimes really get caught flat-footed when receiving the ball. If we put a bit of pressure on him, we can definitely find some, interesting goals, some interesting success for sure. So big yourself up. I really do agree, Clement. Good tactical insight from yourself there. Manchester United have conceded 10 goals in October so far, more than any other side. They've never conceded more than 11 in 1 month in Premier League history. Now, there is a stat, everybody. Get them. Spurs 72. Big up to Spurs 72 in the chat with a beautiful stat right there. That is just making me lick my lips. This is, again, why I love stats, Spurs 72. Personally, maybe it's the Yank in me that loves the stats, but at the same time, I just think, it makes your point sometimes, a bit more, a bit stronger, because we all have seeing eye tests. We all are watching the game of football in front of us. We all have our opinions about players, but then when you back it up with a few stats and whatnot, just makes your point even stronger. And I think as well, in this scenario, you can definitely say that if you have confidence against Man United, if you think that we should score, you just look at the Spurs 72 chat right in front of you, where he does say that they've conceded 10 league goals so far in October. And October is not even over yet, everybody. So that does mean that we might be able to break a record of theirs, something that they've never done before. So Spurs 72, big yourself up. That is a fantastic stat, my man. That is a fantastic stat. MS saying, Chacha, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. Really do appreciate that. MS saying, great show, Jack. This is for your next drink. Well earned. The beer has been purchased. The beer has been purchased, my man. The beer has been purchased. It's not going to be the fluffy drinks as much as that's a good inside joke between Aaron and I. It's not going to be the fluffy drinks. It's just going to be a nice Pilsner, maybe lager of some sort. I have a Pilsner in the fridge, and then I have a few IPAs in the fridge as well. So probably going to pick between the two, maybe go for the Pilsner first just to refresh, the throat and whatnot. But then after that, maybe move on to the IPAs and then maybe a bit of FIFA later. Who knows, MS? But really appreciate that. Really appreciate all the support from Paul Markey to Dermot, of course. Dermot's been an absolute monster this week in terms of the super chats, as well as Dark Sun G, of course, the legend himself, Aaron Dubb. as well as Kuva 99. Really big yourselves up. It goes a very much a long way, and it does make things, also take this channel even further. It really does take this channel even further. So big yourselves up, everybody. Really do. And MS, really do appreciate you. Really do appreciate you. 13 goals in 5 games. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Means we're only going to score one tomorrow. Come on, Dan. Come on. Kay saying, Lucas, great passing, great dribbling, great vision, great work ethic, and great at being clinical. Our most underrated player. Kay, this is where maybe a bit of a tangent here, but this is why I've compared him to Stevie B. And I don't want to make this a Stevie B kind of rip show, but I want to give Stevie B more time, and I want Stevie B to prove me wrong. But sometimes when we, say Stevie B, like, oh, he can do this, he can do that. If you compare him then to Lucas, you kind of notice how much more productive Lucas is, because Lucas can play as a right winger much better than and more efficiently and more creatively than Stevie B can. He can obviously play in the middle of the park where Stevie B, I don't think, can. He can also play left wing, as we obviously know, where Stevie B probably can't do it as well as Lucas. So that's why I'm kind of losing patience with Stevie B, is just because I think Lucas can do everything better than him. And Lucas, as much as he is a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant player, you have to also consider that, like, Lucas is just, in my opinion, better. And I think Lucas is more of a squad player, maybe like a super sub kind of player. So that's why I am losing patience with Stevie B, just because I think Lucas does everything better. I mean, for Christ's sake, even, Lucas is also winning our team in aerial duels. He has the most aerial duels won on our side. So there you go. But I don't want this to be a Stevie B rip show, because I want him to prove me wrong. I want Stevie B to prove me wrong, but I couldn't agree more. Injuries caught McGuire. He's playing with injuries now. Yeah, as well as Veron tomorrow. Veron might be playing with injuries as well. uh, Something about the possums tonight, must be funny. I guess, or koalas and whatnot, but big yourselves up, don't need to interrupt, your guys a little moment here. Pick up Jack in between drinks and music. Whoa, Brad. Thank you for joining us, my man. Hopefully the music is going well. Hopefully, the bandmates are all in tune with him. Maybe a bit of free form jazz. That's probably the type of football we should be playing tomorrow as well, Brad. But also really big yourself up. Really do appreciate you. Really do appreciate you. And also, as well, I can't wait to maybe be hitting, a few of the beers, after this one. But really do appreciate all the support I've been given from you guys. Really, it's been a fantastic show. Really enjoying the vibes in here. The vibes have been immaculate on a good Friday night with all of y'all. Really have enjoyed it. And also every, one of the people, all the tactical, kind of geniuses that are in the building here, all the tactical bookworms, the stat bookworms, they're all in here tonight. And honestly, all the questions, all the comments tonight have been unbelievable. But Brad Matthews with the big one. Really do appreciate you, my man. Really do appreciate you. And also, well done today on Tommy Talks Ball as well. That was a great show. I was able to catch up on it later. And big yourself up, my man. Absolutely big yourself up. And hopefully you're keeping well on this Friday night. Hopefully you have a few of the beers as well, and you warming the tummy for tomorrow. Even also easing the nerves as well. Brad Matthews, big yourself up. But we are going to move away from that beautiful Lucas animation here to a Tanguy slip through ball. Now, this could also be a Geo. This could be a Geo slip through ball. Easily could be a Geo slip through ball. Easily. Doesn't have to be Tanguy, but I do see Tanguy starting tomorrow. So this is going to be a Tanguy slip through ball here. I do think this one is basically, we saw it in the version of the counterattack we saw a version of it with the counterattack when we saw Sonny be played in behind by Tanguy. This one is going to be more or less what I was talking about earlier, where Højbjerg kind of drops into that right center back position and pings it across to Region. We've seen him try that a million times against West Ham. He wasn't able to hit them, but every other match he's been able to hit them. It just felt like against West Ham, that was the first time I've ever seen Højbjerg miss that many passes. And I think maybe he'll just learn from that and be able to hit these balls a bit better than before. And then once you have Region and Sonny overlapping, as well as Sonny drifting a bit inside, and you give it into Tanguy, instead of Tanguy taking a crack from distance like he did, against Newcastle, this time he's going to slip in Sonny in behind. It's, also take into consideration again, the slip through ball that he played in for Sonny on that counterattack animation. This one, though, is just maybe a bit of an overload on the left-hand side with Sonny and Region taking on Wan-Bissaka on the one-on-one. Region also loves, he doesn't cross it, every time. He actually likes to find somebody. He likes also that kind of that inside pass on the floor, the inside pass on the ground, on the carpet, to someone else. And then in this case, it could be Tongi, it could be Gio, but then we just need to be able to find either Harry Kane or Sonny, in the box, maybe slipping their man, turning their man from there. So there you are, everybody. This is what I could see as, potential also another goal here. But just going to go through a few more comments and then we're going to be done with all the Spurs animations. And then we're just going to break down the rest of the show, which should go by smoothly. Or Harry Kane slipped KDB like through ball. There you go, Rico. We've been missing that though, Rico. That's the problem. We've been missing that. We need that Harry Kane slip through ball. That's why I didn't include the Harry Kane animations, because man has not been, the same Harry Kane that we know. And so that's why I'm going to kind of keep away from those animations for tonight. I'm going to kind of keep it entirely realistic on what we've seen so far this season. But I completely agree, Rico. We need to see that. We really need to see that. Talk of Kane and Nuno having a clash on tactics, but Kane doesn't like the sit back and counterattack, wants to be more involved. Definitely MS. I think that's probably true. Man United had a few days to fix that badly coached defense. I suspect they could be really vulnerable. I think they will be vulnerable. They just haven't been good this season defensively. How could they? I don't really see them fixing that all in one match. I'm more concerned about Man United attacking us. I think where they could hurt us is just them going forward, but I don't think they're going to be defensively solid. Like, that'd be weird if they were just be able to fix that all of a sudden in 1 week. It just doesn't seem something like that's realistic. I think it is something that Ole must be doing wrong, in my opinion. I could be wrong. But just making sure I didn't miss any comments from before. Really appreciate all the support, from, again, MS here, from Brad Matthews, from Dermot, of course, again, from Kuva99, from Dark Sun G, as well as everybody in the comments, Clement, Shamu, William McKenzie, Aaron Dubb, Island Life, William McKenzie as well, John Fitzpatrick, everybody that's tuned in tonight. Really do big yourself up. Big Papa, of course, Big Boss Man, Wayne Bonner. You guys have all put in fantastic shift in tonight, as well as Kay. Kay, really big yourself up. Really appreciate all the support. Craig Bowler as well, giving up all the support. Really do appreciate it. Just making sure, again, I'm not missing anything here. But there you are, everybody. That is going to be the last little animation here. We're now going to go on to players to target. I think this can go by a bit smoothly. Luke Shaw is going to be a player to target because Luke Shaw was absolutely exposed against Liverpool the other night. He's not the best defensively. He is very good going forward, but he is not the best defensively. And he will try to probably get forward. And then if we do use someone like Lucas, who skins men for living, Luke Shaw will have a very difficult night, especially when Luke Shaw, maybe doesn't drift too far inside and passes them off to Maguire. I think that, again, could just wreak havoc because, again, like Lucas really does know how to maybe just wreak havoc. And on Luke Shaw and Maguire's side, which is that left-hand side, there could be a lot of trouble. And if Lucas has a good match, I could see this being huge for them as well. Maguire hasn't been the best defensively this season. Has been a bit slow on his feet. Has been a bit, kind of caught out, especially against quicker players. I see Lucas. Lucas just needs to have a big game. I'm kind of saying that he will, but he needs to. Like, I'm actually pleading that he does. Matic, I think he'll be kind of that guy that can link the attack from the midfield. But he's not the best defensively as he used to be. So I think he is someone that we also will try to expose, especially with Gio and Tongi. The reason is because Gio and Tongi could easily target him. Just, find spaces where Matic might think that it's covered when it's really not. And the Maguire, I kind of already explained, when Lucas maybe drifts inside and tries to take him on, Maguire will have to make a decision and he might make the wrong one. So there you are, everyone. But moving on now, key battles. There are a lot of key battles for this one, everybody. Bruno Fernandes against Pierre-Emile Højbjerg and Skippy. Again, if you stop Bruno Fernandes, you stop Man United. Simply said, we brought that up earlier. They need to stop him. We need to see what Kuva99 was talking about earlier. We need to see, the rakes of the ankles, the ranks of the heels, the Achilles, Skippy and Højbjerg maybe just trading off hard blows on the guy. We need a bit of shithousery. We need a bit of dark arts on Bruno Fernandes because that's how we win him over. We also want to get him, a bit riled up, I would say, because if then we need to get him like a yellow card early or something like that, that would be wonderful. Maybe get him sent off even, would be nice as well. So this definitely needs to happen, really. Just like Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, or just like Kuva99 said earlier, we need to see Højbjerg perform a little bit of the dark arts, a little bit of the of the savagery against Bruno Fernandes, get in his head, make life difficult for them. They need to get stuck in like they always have this season, but they need to get stuck in tomorrow. Um, Missing Paro Jack. Oh, yes. Well, of course, Para Miguel. Sorry, I'm always refer to him as the full name, Para Miguel. Para Miguel always giving us the big support. Always giving us the big support, as always. He's an absolute legend. He gives so much support also to the Flat Cap Euro Talk channel. You're absolutely right, Shamu. You're absolutely right, Shamu. But I just didn't see any of his comments from earlier. But the man is an absolute legend. Love Para Miguel. Absolutely love him. How bad is Hill's injury? I'm not sure. Really not sure, actually. Let me know. Let me know. Tongi here is going to be the other key battle. Tongi versus Matic and McTominay. It's basically the same thing as I think Fernandez and against Højbjerg and Skippy. It's practically the same thing, but I would say it's a bit more crucial with Højbjerg and Skippy, just because Fernandez is an unbelievable player, and you do have to take him out of the game again. If you take him out of the game, I think you stop Man United. But Tongi to a degree or Gio could be the same thing. Where they need to have a good game against these two guys right here because they are very capable of being exposed. I think McTominay is actually, if you were to rate all three of their center defensive mid, I think is the best one. But I don't really. I kind of rate his ability sometimes to carry the ball, but I don't think he's the best defensively. So I would actually say that Tongi and Gio, they need to have a big match against these guys. They really do. The other key battle is going to be Cuti Romero against and Eric Dyer, who I do see as probably being the other center back of choice against Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo's aerial ability is undoubted. Eric Dyer's aerial ability, I don't rate as much as Romero. Romero's had a fantastic season so far in terms of aerial duels won. I think he has the highest aerial duel win rate, and he's also climbing up the ranks in terms of aerial duels. He's nowhere near Lucas yet, which is unbelievable. Again, Lucas's aerial duels, what a god. But Romero has been sensational at being able to win headers, and I do see him probably challenging Romero in maybe the best of ways, or Ronaldo, excuse me, in the best of ways. And it's going to be crucial. Ronaldo also, though, loves to cut inside, receive the balls to feet, and put a few step overs over, a few hesitations, a few, heel chops and whatnot. And these guys are going to have to be up on their game. He is absolutely havoc, as well as because he saves all of his energy for the attack. He saves all of his energy for, the counterattack, as well as creating something out of nothing. So that does mean, that Romero and Eric Dyer are going to have to be on their game. It really does. Another key battle is going to be Sonny and Reguilon against Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Sonny and Reguilon have, statistically been the most creative players this season. Our left-hand side has been where the most of our goals have come from so far this season. So Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he's going to be someone that's going to have to be very defensively focused for this one. And hopefully they'll catch him out. I would say balls over the top is where Aaron Wan-Bissaka does struggle. If you try to play it in behind him, he will struggle with that. In front of him, anything that is in front of him, he does do very well against. So Aaron Wan-Bissaka will have a good game. Will have a big game in front of him, especially if we dominate the ball. I think he will have to, rely on probably McTominay or someone like that in order to help him out, or Varane even. But Sonny and Reguilon have been, again, some of the most creative players in our entire side this season. And so hopefully they have a good game against Aaron Wan-Bissaka and are able to take him out and able to, do very good overlaps against the guy. But that is it for tonight, everybody. That is it. Hopefully y'all have enjoyed. Really do appreciate, all the support that I've been given tonight. It's absolutely been insane. All the people that have tuned in tonight, really do appreciate it. Really appreciate everybody that's, given, a super chat, as well as given, fantastic tactical insight, fantastic tactical comments and whatnot. It's been honestly a blast doing this with you guys tonight. Really do appreciate it. Again, it was without David tonight because David was celebrating the parents' anniversary and just having a good old dinner with them. I think it was very well deserved. I am going to put in, but I'm pretty sure it's mostly regulars tonight that have already subscribed. I'm going to put our second channel there. If you have enjoyed anything that I've had to say, especially when it comes to transfers and whatnot, like, people are talking about Jack Gellhart, I would say definitely head on over to that channel. It would help out me so much because I would really want to get, more insight, more support, over there so that I can maybe satisfy a variety of, needs and wants over there. I've been kind of falling behind, a little bit this week on it just because I'm trying to catch up with a lot of work, clearly on this channel. But, would really appreciate all the support, especially if you do enjoy anything that I had to say. A subscribe over there would go a very long way. But really, again, all the support that I've received tonight has been unbelievable, from Spurs 72 to Cuba 99 to Para Miguel Escobardo, of course, the legend himself, as well as John Fitzpatrick, Shamu, Big Papa, William McKenzie, so many more. K has been unbelievable tonight. MS has been unbelievable tonight. Dermot's been unbelievable tonight. Stark Sun G, of course, as well as so many others, really so many others. Oliver Freeman, thank you so much for tuning in. Dan N, big yourself up for tuning in. MA has been fantastic tonight. Really appreciate it. Clement's been very, very nice to me tonight. Really do appreciate it. It goes a very long way, everybody. It does make my night, does make my day. I am going to start tuning off soon. If anybody has any, things to hang out with me, just to say some things, you're welcome to do so. I am just going to now take a bit of a breath and to see if anybody, maybe even score predictions, guys. I probably should give score predictions. Now, it's a bit crazy of me. I'm going to go 2-1, or I'm going to go 2-1 or 2-0. I think they're going to score, but the first goal matters most. I think it's going to be 2-1 tonight. Could be a 1-0. Could easily be a 1-0 tonight. But yeah, that's what I could see it being. I could see a 1-0 or a 2-1. I'm not going to go 2-0. I think that's a bit crazy. So I'm going to go 1-0 or 2-1. Could be a very boring game. Could be a very exciting game. I don't see it being a very high scoring game. The only reason I could see it being a high scoring game would ideally be against Man United, because they have struggled defensively where we haven't struggled as much as them. And everybody, really do appreciate it. David, thank you thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. I'm a Man United fan. I want you to win. He wants Ole sacked. Apparently, they want us to push him over. Really appreciate it, Para Miguel. Really do appreciate it. And everybody, smash that like, smash that subscribe as well. If you are new to this and you don't want to miss another Stats with Jack ever again, you want to hit that notification bell. Of course, hit that big shiny red button as always. Also, in order to not miss another show from David and I. Really do appreciate it, Socrates. Really do appreciate it. Tree 2. Tree 2 from Tango Ben Al Shid. Tango, I would say maybe this would make your day a bit better. I've always wanted David to say, there are 33 things we need to think about today. I've always wanted him to say that, but the man is, it's got the best accent in the world. He's got the best accent in the world. Tango Ben Al Shid. I'll completely agree. Ole in, definitely. Ole in, Arteta in. I will say, though, the Scum have been doing quite well recently. They've been doing quite well recently. 9-3 at halftime, when we go all out defensive. 9-8. There we go, Kuba. And also, the quad is on, even if we lose. The quad is on, Kuba. The quad is always going to be on, no matter what. 2-1 to who? It's Spurs. I never predict a Spurs loss. I'm kind of one of those delusional guys, Aaron. I'm one of those delusional guys. I never predict a Spurs loss or Spurs defeat. I just can't. It just, maybe a draw sometimes, but yeah, I just can't do it. Can't find it within myself. It's just too hard. I don't really feel like we should be football fans, if we're going to predict defeats. You always have to remain optimistic. But then that probably means it's not the most informed, conclusion. I just don't really care about being right about a defeat. It's just something that, doesn't really suit me. It's just not something that, I will give you all the analysis of how we can get hurt. I'll give you all the analysis of how, the other team can hurt us. But I'm not going to, at the end of the day, just say, all right, we're going to lose 3-0. I mean, that's just not my MO. It just seems like, we got to have a bit of fun sometimes, Aaron. Got to be a bit delusional about some things, if you ask me. But, to each his own. Some people want to be very realistic. Some people want to be, very, realistic, or, maybe a bit more pessimistic and whatnot. And I think that's completely fine. I think that's completely fine. Aaron, you say it right. Exactly. You say it right. Honestly. Exactly. You say it right, my man. You say it right. That's amazing. But I would say, especially over here, where I have the driest accent in the world, Aaron, people are welcome to, make fun of how I say certain numbers as well. I would say, there's not a lot of things I say very excitingly. So, Aaron Deb, I completely agree. I completely agree. Big up, David. But I'm going to start ending it off unless people want to give me maybe their Halloween costume ideas or, anything like that. Feel free to do so. I'm going to start ending it off very soon to say goodbye. Has been a fantastic show, everybody. Really appreciate all the support that I've been given. Just want to make sure I'm not going to miss anybody's final comments. Just making sure. Just want to make sure. But again, all the support, everybody, has been fantastic. Left Spurs when you don't know how they will play, the element of surprise. But looks like I'll be ending it off. Seems like everybody's kind of tuning out. So again, really appreciate all the love and support, everybody. Been a fantastic show. Thank you for also giving me, again, all the confidence, the appreciation has gone a very long way. It does make me, my life a whole lot easier. I'm getting a Daniel Levy costume very soon. Pick yourself up. Aaron, pick yourself up. Pick yourself up. Pick yourself up. Pick up, Jack. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Island Life as well. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it, my man. Really do appreciate it. Again. All right, everybody. I'm going to be tuning out. And I'm going to be enjoying some of those beers that Aaron, has encouraged me to switch over to. No fluffy drinks for me tonight. No fluffy drinks in order for me tonight. Just going to be relaxed. I'm playing a bit of FIFA, though. If anybody follows me on Twitch as well, probably going to be playing a bit of FIFA tonight. So let me know if you want to see that and want to join me out for that as well. That will be very interesting. But that'll be all for now. Please like, please subscribe, please comment down below if you've enjoyed this tactical insight as well from everybody else. Hit that notification bell to never miss another show like this one. Grab your memberships also as well, everybody, so that you can join us for the fan show come Monday to talk about the match. We pretty much go as long as we can. Also, again, everybody, please tune in for the watch along tomorrow. Please tune in for the watch along tomorrow because it is going to be a fantastic watch along. I know, no matter the result, but that'll be all for now. Come on, you Spurs, and we'll be seeing you tomorrow.